Look at this.
The targets, obviously, some locations where the LGBT community.
Oh my God, they're all shooting back and forth.
Police departments at the very least to raise the comfort level of the communications. There is a communications director, if you will, for ISIS. Urge people to go out and do whatever they can do. This is what.
After the tragedy that happened in Orlando, Florida, where this deranged gunman went and shot up a gay nightclub, killing 49 people, injuring many, many more. Now that some time has passed and we've had time to process and evaluate what's happened, I want to go on the record and speak up for the right to self-defense with a gun. Here in the United States, we have the Second Amendment, and I think our rights are inherently given upon us at birth, whether it's in the Constitution or not. As a gay man, I don't equate legal with moral, because we had basic criminalization of gay people in the United States in many various ways for a long time. Homosexuality is criminalized in other parts of the world, so I certainly don't equate morality with legal. And yeah, I do think it's moral to be a gay person. I reject the religious teachings that condemn homosexuality. If you choose a lifestyle choice and you wish to believe in those things, then that's your choice, but don't impose it on me, and then we will coexist peacefully. If it is a Muslim who wants to impose their views on me, or a Christian, or anybody else who wants to impose their views on me, even an anti-gay atheist, no, I reject that. I am my own person, I own myself, and I'm a free, sovereign human being who deserves to live my life peacefully without other people trying to control my behavior because of their religious beliefs. And I'm not going to get into all the debate statistics about why you should defend yourself, why people ought to have the freedom to defend themselves. If you're watching this video, no doubt you've seen plenty of debates and talking points from all kinds of people on both sides of the issue about restriction versus freedom. I just want to speak from the heart and let you know that I want to be able to defend myself. I want to be able to defend myself. And when it comes to these big, scary guns that can shoot a lot of rounds and kill a lot of people at one time, what if there is an economic collapse that happens and riots ensue? What if something bad happens where there's a major power grid outage and something bad like that can happen? These are not unrealistic things. This nation that I live in the United States, has already gone through some pretty outrageous things, including September 11 in my lifetime, including Hurricane Katrina, and our neighbors in Japan had that tsunami earthquake situation that happened where they had a nuclear meltdown situation going on. So any bad thing can happen to us at any time, and it's great to be prepared. And another element of preparedness is having weapons to defend yourself. And if you think this is kooky conspiracy stuff, well, then you choose to be vulnerable and you choose to let only the anti-gay militias have guns, because they're going to have those guns regardless of whether they're legal or not. And even if somehow the government started to try to round up guns, they would hide them, they would hoard them, they would figure out some sort of way to keep those weapons to defend themselves. Because if the bad things happen and there's some sort of societal breakdown, who do you want to have the guns? Do you want to have guns to defend yourself, or do you only want the anti-gay militia? Do you only want the gang, drug, thug groups to have guns? Or do you want to have an option to defend yourself too when something horrible happens? Hopefully you never have to use it. But if things are bad like that, there's going to be bad guys who have the guns. Criminals don't follow laws. Now, you tell me, when sodomy was officially illegal before the Supreme Court ruled to overturn all of the criminalizations of it, were you still a gay person just because it wasn't legal? I mean, obviously, if something is meant to be banned, you don't really need force and coercion to do that. People will universally rally around it. If something should be banned, societies have a way of coming together and making that happen voluntarily. But if something shouldn't be banned, like homosexuality, like marijuana, like the freedom to choose what to do with your body if you're a woman and has an unwanted pregnancy, if you have those freedoms infringed upon, there's going to be resistance, there's going to be conflict, and it will never be resolved because you can't impose your way on people. You can try to voluntarily persuade, and if you force people to do things that they don't want to do, it's just not going to work. Keep in mind, I'm talking about the context of non-aggression principle. Do unto others as you would do unto you. Treat others as you want to be treated. And if you don't think that people are going to be abiding by that, and that's why we need government, actually, that's why we need self-defense, because people don't abide by it. And that's why you need to rely on yourself and your skills and what you're equipped with to defend yourself. Now, there's a lot of homophobic and transphobic cops out there who get reported for harassing gay people. They still do undercover sting operations to try to entrap gay people for sex in public just because they get a blowjob in a car. So you want to rely on those cops, those homophobic cops? Look at what happened in San Francisco. There was just a mass firing of people at the top of the police chain because they were corrupt. And there's tons of allegations of racism. Even in Los Angeles, this many years after O.J. Simpson, there's still a lot of allegations of racism, corruption that's happening in the police department regarding sexual assault and drug trafficking and racism and all these bad things. Why would you want to only rely on cops to defend yourself? Cops that are going to take 5 to 10, 15 minutes maybe to get to you? And if it is a gay nightclub and they happen to be homophobic, you think they're going to have a sense of expediency in helping you? So on top of that, who else should have guns? The military? Our government weaponizes other countries and their conflicts, and then gets entangled in these foreign wars, and then all these people end up getting guns from our United States government, in effect. So why is it appropriate that our government arm other people and other nations to defend themselves, but not Americans? It makes no sense. So let's stop and think critically and just make this an issue about your right to choose to defend yourself. Your right to defend yourself should not be infringed upon simply because other people are afraid that bad things happen. If that was a good enough justification, then obviously we should concede and go back to criminalizing sexuality because that scares the homophobes. What else should we criminalize? Marijuana? What else should we criminalize because people don't like it and are afraid of it? Again, you've got two paths, the freedom path, the liberty path. And then you've got the tyranny path, the prohibition path. Both of them are slippery slopes, but I'd rather err on that side of liberty. For Uncorporate Media, I'm Jeff for Justice. Thanks for watching.